I've been given advice before from people who are real professional broadcasters. Real like on NPR, like people who know their shit. And I've been told that you should just never disclose when you're like sick or off your game or something when doing an audio medium, because you think that people are going to know right away that something is like off about you or abnormal. But really,
Sure.
almost always, the listener never knows. You have to be like so sick that you sound noticeably different, or like just kind of out there to trigger those feelings in people. That's like both what the anecdotal and like the hard research shows. So I know that what I'm about to say, like just how out of it I am, I don't have to disclose that, because we just go through this show and people probably know, but now they're probably thinking like, oh man, what's up with Joey? And the answer, like I'm hoping that I can just poop this one out, because I'm very tired.
Are you pre-Johnsing the podcast right now? Are you trying to explain to the viewer why this might end up being a bad podcast before the podcast is even done?
I mean that feels like bad marketing, right? Because now someone might be like, can I skip this one? Like, I mean, there's a new episode of something else I can listen to.
Yeah, go
right
ahead and skip this one. Watch our what's the viewing metric again?
Concurrence, retention, clicks.
Yes, retention.
Listens.
Yes, the viewership retention just gonna go out the window on this one. Well, he did say we should skip this one.
But I mean, if that happened, I would be honored, because that means people would listen to you, right? Like, I mean, that there's just a level of like, just blind, like, he said fuck it, right? So then just doing it.
He's the expert.
He said, we haven't even sat through the whole thing yet. Like, this thing happens linearly. I don't know what's going to be said later. I don't know if it's going to be good. I shouldn't even preface it with the possibility of it being bad. I'm trying to wake myself up right now by like talking in an excited way.
Yeah, baby, let's go. You're bringing the energy right now. We're fucking going right now. You can feel it. We're not tired at all.
That's your 1 a.m. game 5 of a best of 5s. All day was best of 3s, and you just had a little bit of coffee voice, when really all you want to do is go home and turn on your Switch.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the broadcast. Dude, I'm not even gonna let you ask. I was out this weekend. I was out this weekend. I took a long weekend, Thursday and Friday. I traveled for the first time in a COVID-ridden Earth, and I drove with my friends from Los Angeles to Las Vegas for someone's 30th birthday. And now people are probably thinking like, oh, Joey, you just, I don't know, did too many drugs, and now it's, it's Monday. You should just, oh, geez, what did you do, right? I just didn't sleep much.
You guys haven't really been following the podcast if you think that. Did Joey take too many drugs? Was he doing too much cocaine in Vegas? Please, if you following this podcast, Joey's too much of a nerd for that one.
It's true. That being said, if you want to go meet up at TI and like do like a couple lines, like I'm sure that'd be okay depending on the day. But like what I'm saying is that
Sweden? In Sweden?
No, not in Sweden.
I'm definitely not. Oh. Okay.
It's in any other country but Sweden. Fuck Sweden.
Oh, okay.
TI's canceled.
True.
Yeah, no, there was minimal drug usage. There was minimal anything.
If we're talking about Kyiv, then yeah.
Right.
I feel like you probably get away with things.
But so I have not fully recovered from just like I do this thing where vacation for me tends to be not a vacation. Which I normally am a fan of, but sometimes I shouldn't do that before I know that I'm going to have a crazy work week, because like I'm filming something like relatively important, something different every day for like 4 days.
It's not Alienware?
It is all Alienware based. No, one of them is Bud Light based. It's Alienware, Bud Light, Alienware. My life for Michael Dell. But yeah, I shouldn't have. I should have had more foresight, or just realized that I'm not as young as I used to be. That I should sleep more. Before like a full week of work and not just do a Vegas thing. I also I need to stop being so nice. Like I'm not valuing my time enough, because like I took my buddy to the airport at 7:30 in the morning today. He offered to take an Uber, but I insisted that I would just drive him.
Make him take an Uber.
Yeah, that's like it would have cost me nothing to sleep for an extra 90 minutes today. But instead, like, yeah. How do I force myself to just, I don't know, be a worse friend? I guess that's loaded. But like like that was bad. I rented.
We also took Ellie to the airport when she flew to Kyiv recently.
I did.
Which also wasn't necessary. I appreciate it. It was very nice of you.
She had to come. She was dropping something off for me, so she had to come to my side of town anyway. So if she was gonna take an Uber, I could have taken her the rest of the way. I live relatively close to LAX. I'm not gonna dox myself on the podcast, but like, it's relatively close.
Yes, somewhere near the Los Angeles airport.
Closer than you.
In the Los Angeles County. Well, I'll narrow it down pretty quickly there.
My zip code is 900. No, I think I need to stop being nice to people. I need to respect my time more and sleep more, and realize that I don't quite have the same body that I did at 21, and also plan vacations with a day at the end of the vacation just to recoup from said vacation.
Yes. I don't want to, whenever I go on vacation, the day after, I want to do absolutely nothing. It's the same thing when I go and I come back from events. In fact, I was just talking about this on stream today. I could not motivate myself whatsoever to cover South America or the Eastern European qualifiers for TI, because I was just tired. I had no desire to do that. I could stream and play Dota and stuff, but like I could not work up the effort of doing. Like I came back home, and then it was like, okay, straight into ESL one summer, but that's super easy. At the same time, like I was like, I still needed the time. I'm realizing I'm just tired. Very tired. It's been a long year.
It's important to, a hot take incoming. Like please, put on your fucking oven mitts for this one. It's important to kind of recognize that about yourself, and then just listen to your body. Because you won't be tired soon.
Yeah. I think that's part of the reason why I fucking got into a real negative space with social media and reading Reddit and stuff. I got into a bit of a rabbit hole that I did not escape very well, which is the fact that I think I was just tired. I was grumpy. I wanted to have more reasons to be grumpy.
I would have described your behavior with Reddit as slightly uncharacteristically grumpy. Yeah.
I think I had good reasons to be grumpy, but I was also being grumpy. It was a bit of a shitstorm.
Were you so tired that you didn't even really watch any of those games or series? Like, were you just selectively?
Oh no, I did. I did. I watched the finals of Eastern Europe because I was up in time to be able to watch that, and then I vaguely watched the South American final because I was pretty invested in SG winning, and they did. So nice.
Why were you
super
invested
happy
in
for
SG
them.
winning?
Old school Brazilian players that I've just known for a long time, and I don't think I have it's pretty rare for me to.
Would you call that a bias? Sorry, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Would I call that a bias? Yeah, probably. If I was casting the South American qualifiers and I was doing the grand finals, I would be biased towards SG. Would you be able to tell? Highly unlikely, because I'm a good commentator and I balance things very well. But if you're a really big unknown fan, then maybe you would delude yourself into thinking I had an SG bias because I said one thing nice about SG that I didn't say about unknown. And therefore the broadcast was unbalanced, and therefore I must hate unknown.
I'm sorry that I even said anything. That was what I'm gonna call in the world of comedy, low hanging fruit. Go on. So you as SG's filled with a bunch of old Brazilian players who you've played with known / casted for a long time.
Yeah, and it's pretty rare for me to for some of these teams in NA, for me to like every single player, or at least not have a problem with
because at least one of them's a dickhead in pubs.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure that the same thing could be said of me. I'm not saying that it's because they're a bad person. It's just because I've had a bad experience with them. Maybe they feel the same way about me. It is what it is. But SG, Costa Bile, 40R, Tavo is super happy. I was super happy for Adriano as well as Tavo, because both of those guys, it's just going to be good to see them at TI. Adriano especially, Tavo, he's back, since his time at Pain Gaming with Misery and stuff. Theolacor and King Jungles, they're two supports. I've had run-ins in pubs. I don't think I've had anything, any negative experiences with any of them. So the combination of them just being like older school names that like I know, therefore I know how long they've been at this. When it comes to some regions like South America, like there are some names that come in that I don't actually maybe recognize that well, or like they're just newer to the scene, so I only know them from pubs and not necessarily from pro play. So, but for them, almost all those guys have like large amount of experience. King Jungle is probably newest one, and I knew about him like 2 years ago. So. Yeah, I think I think it's always rewarding to have a story about somebody who tried and tried and tried and tried, and then at the end did manage to make it through. There's a Reddit thread on Dota 2, our Dota 2 about Dendi. Like if by some fucking miracle Dendi was to qualify for a TI again. That would be an amazing story, right? Somebody who persevered for years through so many losses, through
really
so many
low lows.
Yeah, exactly. And managed to like turn it all around and experience another high. That's always a great story. So I thought SG's story was good. And I thought, and yeah, my personal experiences with them is good.
The Dendi story is interesting to me because I feel like it's hard not to frame that or read that thread or have that commentary about him and not frame it in the mechanism of like old rock stars. Of like, man, Aerosmith's still playing concerts and, Steven Tyler really is out there, but like... I guess, my mom, who's been watching those Aerosmith shows for most of her life, is, oh, man, cool, it's Steven Tyler. But ultimately,
best days are behind him.
Yeah. That's kind of how I think about stories like that, about people who like keep on pushing through, like their peak and they're very much in their valley. I'm sure there's other pros you can ascribe that to. Probably not some as many as extreme as Dendi, because Dendi's highs are like literally the highest they can be, and then also like incredibly in a valley of low. Like maybe fear.
I would say there's a slight difference though. There's a slight difference between the musicians that you're pointing out and Dendi's situation, which is the nature of competition. And not saying that you can't be competitive in things that aren't sports and stuff, but I feel like the old rock star, like they can't just, in some ways it feels like they can't let go of who they were and the fame and, the glory and being cheered on and loved and all that sort of thing. And that may not be the case for Dendi and competition. He may just really enjoy competing as an act, which I think is a little bit more clean, wholesome, whatever it is. It doesn't necessarily feel like that's a bad trait for someone to just enjoy competing and try to keep at it.
I also because that's what it has to be, right? Like he's fueled by competition or wins or something like that. Because he could just have any job in Russian-speaking Dota world that he wants, right?
Yeah, he is very, very famous, and he's an excellent ambassador for Dota. And obviously, every single TI, he's there as talent, right? Like, he's got a guaranteed gig. It's like Synderen in some ways, Like, I feel like Synderen may be giving up on playing. I'm not sure. I haven't actually talked to him about that, but it feels that way, right? And so, but the very similar situation where they can keep on competing, knowing that talent work is always there to back them up. They will always have a guaranteed position waiting for them if they don't make it. So, yeah, I think he could absolutely commit to that full time. He could just do streaming full time. He could probably not even do streaming and probably still be an fucking ambassador for various sponsors. There's so many options he could do.
What did Bait end up doing in those Eastern European qualifiers? Did they just immediately lose?
Oh God. Yes, they did. I don't believe they won a single game. I think they lost. Oh no, they beat No Techies, who was one of the teams that got knocked out of the lower division in season 2. They went on to take a game off of Team Unique, which is okay, but in context, Team Empire beat Unique 2-1. So, and Empire then went on to all the way through the finals, but I would still say there are several teams above Unique. At least Navi, definitely Hellraisers, probably your Puck Champs and Win Strikes of the world, maybe would be better than Team Unique as well. So fairly far down the pecking order there.
Speaking of, Eastern European peeps, something that I've spent a little bit of time this weekend thinking about is how important is it to have a good gamer tag? Because I truly don't follow a ton of US East. Excuse me. Jesus. EU East. Please don't laugh. I promise. It's not a facade. My brain is slow. I'm feeling the wrinkles go away. It is actively getting smoother.
It's like the Twitch spam where Chuck Norris founded Europe, EU, for Eastern United States.
Let me condense my point and you can just run with it. I'm not even going to try and wax even a little bit poetically because I'm gone. I think that Toronto Tokyo is seeing excess fame, not just because he's a good player, not just because Spirit's doing well, because people like saying his name.
Yeah, I think there was a clip about Ice rating gamer tags, and I think he put Toronto Tokyo as one of the worst ones. Which I agree with you, rather, that Toronto Tokyo it's a fun name to say. It has a bit of identity to it. Terrible SEO, most likely.
Oh yeah,
Toronto
he was
Tokyo.
not thinking about the website.
Typing that in, you're getting probably airplane tickets for that one. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's pretty good. How important is it? Depends on if it's really memeable, then it can be, I think, pretty decent, pretty important. People will naturally just gravitate to you, right? Because they can meme about you. They're going to pay more attention to you, for better or for worse. So having a good gamer tag, it's important for sure.
I think Toronto Tokyo is seeing excess fame because people like saying his name. And the only other, and also, at least anecdotally for me, there's 2 names this year that stick out. Can you just a random fucking stab at the dark what the other one is?
Are you still talking about Eastern Europe for the other one?
No.
Okay, then you at least got to give me a region, because
China.
China, Red Panda. Let me think for a bit.
This is where if I produced anything at all, I would put in the Final Jeopardy thinking music, as you just kind of like, think, and think.
Nothing to say. Nothing to say. That's been spammed a lot. It's a pretty good one. Is there anybody else with like a really good emo?
No, although there is one. I mean, as much as I do love Gerard Way, and will forever be a fan of Good Charlotte, it's not emo. It's a Poyo.
Oh, Poyo, that is a fun name to say. That is a good one. I do like. For someone at the Animator complained about Poyo. Like they were like, I don't like that name or something. And I was like, what? So I think it was because they would call him Poyo instead of Poyo. And I was like, just keep saying it. Just add in as many yos as you want to.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
As long as it's more than 2, you're good. Yeah. Poyo.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing that at a cast and someone's popping off and you're just extending the yo, all that you're doing is like making good names.
Yo.
Exactly, right?
Yo.
Like, give that shit some sauce.
Yeah.
Anywho, yeah. My 2 new favorite players who I wasn't really sure about this whole circuit season: Toronto, Tokyo, Poyo, just because of names. Maybe I'm a simple person. I'm the person who, goes to the liquor store and goes, most of these vodkas, probably the same. Why don't I just get the one that has the coolest packaging? And I feel like that's what's going on with gamer tags. Like, I'm looking at the shelf of liquor and I'm like, well, I'm not going to get the bottom stuff, but like Toronto, Tokyo, it's good packaging. It's marketing,
okay, so what are some of the worst names you can think of? I, for example, think that 23 Savage is kind of like, it's kind of silly. It's kind of dumb. Because but it's also kind of funny because there is a 21 Savage, right? Famous rapper. There is actually a 22 Savage. And then, so he names himself 23 Savage.
Who's 22 Savage?
Which, that is kind of funny. I don't know. Some guy was trying to rip it off. Blitz and I would have long conversations about this. That 21 is the perfect number for Savage, because the way he uses it and his sort of like ad libs, like 21, like he just throws that down. 21, you can say 21. It's just enough syllables that it doesn't become cumbersome, but it's just long enough that you feel its impact. You can't say 21. You can't say other numbers in the 20 category. 22. That's just, 21. 1 has a finality to it, 23, that stretches out too long. Doesn't work. 24. 24 is close. 24. But this is the kind of conversations that we would have when we are flying around the world and have to be around each other for like 16 hours, going from place to place.
I'm trying to think, like, I could argue that most names are like solidly meh.
Okay.
I'm like casually scrolling down Wikipedia, and like there's some names that I think are like great. Like, I just randomly scrolled by Funnick. I think Funnick's got a great name. Okay. I think that's some names that are just like, short, like 3-3, are like fine. There's some names that are super uninspired. Like, I think that I actually would pull negative points for people who just have like bullshit word names like General. Because I always just imagine someone,
though, because he's not English speaking.
He might get a little bit of a pass on that because he's not English speaking. But I just imagine that, you just open a dictionary and just point to a word and you're like, well, that's the name now. Like,
what about 3-letter names? There's so many of those in Dota. Good, bad.
Bad.
Okay.
IDC. ICE.
All right. Apologies.
ILTW, that's 4, I
MSS,
can't
SVG, HFN.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's many Chinese players. There used to be 444, XXS. I don't. Three is a magic number, though. 3 is a magic number when it comes to saying something.
Yeah,
RMN.
RMN is another one. God,
It's
you're so much better at this than me. I feel like the person who's at trivia night and is just tanking it for their team. Like that's what's going on right now.
Uh-huh.
What about a name like Maybe Next Time? Because what about, because when I think about Maybe Next Time, I imagine like, you know, getting a Scantron and having to like bubble that shit in. Like that's too much.
Well, no, I see. I'm okay with it though because it's really memeable, right? Like it's very taunting in your face. You know, like you try and kill him. Maybe next time, bro. You know, like you lose the game against him. Maybe next time. You know, it's a little tongue in cheek, the way. And funny enough, you know what he shortens it to?
3-letter thing.
MNT.
Damn it.
The 3-letter names come out in force.
I think no one's kind of lame.
Again, not primary English speaker, so.
I think Quake's name is stupid.
Better.
Come at me, Max.
Quake's. You know what a lot of his teammates would call him? Call him Cockva. Would you prefer that?
I go with Max because I can spell it right every time.
You want some more 3-letter names? I found some. XCJ. I went specifically to the Chinese region because I knew there was going to be some. XCJ. TZY. OOQ. And there's one more. ZZQ. 3 letters. Something special about 3 letters. Anyway, so you didn't enjoy Vegas, or you did have a good time in Vegas, but you came back very tired. Is that what the resolution to all this was?
Dude, I feel like I take time out of the podcast to just tell stories that I think could be mildly entertaining. I think that's like, you know, part of what we do to like fill the gap between like, oh, there's nothing going on in the Dota world. Like, oh, it's just TPC qualifiers. Oh man, Europe's coming. Joey doesn't want to think about what's going to happen if Liquid don't win. That's going to be rough. Like that's like, this, in theory, the idea of me going to Vegas, all that would do is fuel good story time for the show. And I would come back here and I'd be like, dude, hookers and blow. Or like, oh man, fucking gambling and horses. Or like, I ate so much food, I'm a fat piece of shit. Some of those are true. But like... I don't have anything to sit here and be like, hey, dude, let me tell you a fun story. Because, like, let me try and recount my Vegas trip.
Okay.
I had a friend who was turning 30. We were going to go up to Vegas. I was very anxious. If anybody has been to Vegas, why? I don't know if I would I know that like we need to return to some type of normalcy, but Jesus Christ, man, that place is like a time capsule from 2018. You would not know that the CV even existed by going to Vegas now. No, no mask. No problem. Anywhere. People are doing whatever they want all the time. Everything except for basically most buffets, which I guess are probably literally the worst thing that can happen in a pandemic, are open, right? So like it is normal city. You can go there and genuinely pretend like Corona never existed. Which is nutty, right?
Which is what some people are doing. Yeah.
Yeah. I was anxious. I got used to it. And I got used to not wearing a mask again pretty quickly, which was like fine, but like I still kind of had it on my neck. I put it on sometimes. Like I wasn't a big fan of that, mostly for my own comfort levels. We rented a Tesla to drive up, which was fun because it was under my name, which means I was the only one on the insurance, so I got to drive the whole time. And the car drives itself. That's interesting. Superchargers, kind of cool. I think that I confirmed the idea that I would one day like to have a Tesla because there's like cool things about it, like it's inherently like techie and rad. I was also thinking that if I need to expand my dating pool, a good place to do that might be at the supercharger station because I'm assuming everyone there like is like at a certain like
they're in a good place financially. You know that they're eco-friendly. You know that they're probably they're probably into some cutting edge tech stuff. At least they appreciate it. Yeah.
I'm saying I should try and date more at the supercharger. That's what I figured out. Have you ever driven like an electric car like distance or at all?
I think I have driven an electric car once, but I can't think exactly when it was. But yeah, not very often.
So couple points on Tesla. The smart cruise control lane assist like features, which I believe more modern cars just have now, but also specifically cars with like radar, lidar, and electric cars like specialize in, totally game changing. Totally, absolutely game changing. I can sit in traffic and basically not like actually drive the car, which is both really cool and also kind of really scary because it just maintains perfect distance in front of you and behind you, and it just slows up and slows down, speeds up like real nice. Like it is just a straight quality of life improvement, presumably even more so for people who like aren't big into driving. Like big fan of that. I took my mom and I had the car drive itself while she was trying to drive it. That was fun to see how the self-driving scares people who like don't inherently trust it. It was also weird how quickly I got used to trusting it. Which was very, very soon. I was like, I can just read Reddit. This is great. Wasn't doing that. I mean, not really, but like, I might have responded to a couple emails.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah,
It's
I dozed off for a couple.
I didn't realize that you can get car sick driving a car. And the answer is you do it just by not driving the car and just letting the car drive itself. And then you're basically a passenger again. I'm not 100% sold on the idea of like superchargers as they exist, because it definitely added about an hour onto each way of the trip just because of needing to stop in certain locations and charge for X amount of time. Because even though the amount of money that I saved on gasoline was wild, it cost me about $70 right now to fill up my gas tank, which I would have needed to do like 2-ish times to go there and back, like plus a little bit of change. And I paid a fraction of that, but also the trade-off is time and just waiting like 30 minutes for your car to charge. And if you're not like, what are you gonna do for 30 minutes? Like go into the liquor store and be like, well, time to look at all the different energy drinks again, or like, oh, I guess there's a Dairy Queen here. I'll have a Blizzard. I shouldn't. I'm trying to lose weight. Like.
Okay, so this is where the dating at the supercharger, because there's other people waiting around not doing anything.
Exactly.
I see.
Exactly. Like if Tesla made an app that was just like a dating profile that is only active while you're at the supercharger for other people who have been to the supercharger very recently, like in the last 6 hours, or actively at the supercharger. That's the only way your profile shows up. So when you get there to charge, you can just do some quick swiping and then see if any matches happen. And maybe you can go into the Chevron together and look at the energy drinks in tandem, because now you're dating at the supercharger. It'll be great. $1 billion idea. Don't fucking quote me, Elon. So I rented a Tesla. It feels a little bit icky to talk about because it's definitely something that we spent a little bit of money on. I think we split it like 4 ways, and it was like a couple $100, but still, like, it was like a relatively nice thing that we did. I made up for that by making sure to stay in a shitty hotel, which was the Excalibur, because it was the cheapest possible place to stay, which I'm a big fan of.
What?
And I did not do much of anything exciting. Like I was saying, even
Okay.
like
Gambling, up or down?
up mildly, which is my preferred.
Okay.
Which is my preferred thing.
No, that's wrong. That's wrong, Joey. No matter what you do, you should never be up a mild amount of money. You can be down a mild amount of money or be up a lot of money, right? Because if you walk away down a mild amount of money, you're like, okay, not too bad. It cost me $100, but I had fun for the weekend. All right, pretty good. Or you're up enough money that you're like, holy shit, this trip paid for itself. Hell yeah. Up a mild amount of money is like, I guess I covered my gas. Like, you're not gonna get excited about that.
I get excited by not losing.
Mm.
I think I'm one of those people who hates losing more than they like winning.
Okay.
So being up a mild
Yes.
amount of money means that I am not upset at myself for losing, right?
Mm.
Which would
You feel bad like when you gamble and the very first one you put in doesn't when you end up losing, but do you automatically feel
I
bad?
generally take like about $100 and go like, well,
Okay.
this is the money that I am going to throw away over the course of 2 or 3 days, and then I just either do or don't, and generally I don't. Generally, I do not lose all that money because I get pretty conservative with it pretty quickly. You know, I'll play like, dollar minimum bet craps for hours on end and just have like a grand old time and be like, hey, yep, another Long Island over here, please. Thank you very much. Let's mix it up. AMF this time? Sure. Great. Yep. Stereotypical white boy right here. Give me that blue Caracal. So that happened. Like,
See, Ellie and I have a rule whenever we go gambling. It's like if we're only up like $100, we I think our rule at the time was like we will put it on roulette. And I think we'll put it on like black 3 times in a row. So either we're gonna walk away and be like, okay, we didn't make any money, we didn't win anything, or we'll be up a lot of money and it'll feel super awesome. But like the $100 to $0, there's like little difference, right? So you might as well just go for the what is it?
that's 3 coin flips
3
for
times.
$800.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you get it. It feels awesome.
I would be hard pressed to do the third one. I think I can get behind and support that logic and even participate, but it would be hard for me to commit to a third one. I would really want to take money off the table after 2 wins.
You know, we did that probably about 5 or 6 times back when I used to live up in Portland. And 5 or 6 times, twice it landed on green. Which I believe in the States is 17-1 odds. So really shouldn't have had the rule of put it on black. Really should have had the rule put it on green.
That would have been fucked.
Now that would have felt good.
He'd be like, oh,
$1,700.
wow.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
going to buy mom dinner tomorrow. But yeah,
yeah.
I wish
when it happened the second time, I was just like, "Oh my god, what the chances of that are so low."
I should have had a vacation that was more apt for me to tell stories. Like my insights that I have aren't interesting. Wow, people didn't wear masks. Wow, it takes a while to charge electric cars. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do with that? Buffets are closed. That's a bummer. I went to Area 15, which is like a new place that kind of opened off the strip. That's where Omega Mart is. If you've seen ads for that, I did get tickets for Omega Mart, which was a bummer because I couldn't get in last minute. And I was like at an arcade bar really late at night, but I was also the person who was DDing, so I'm pretty sure I was the only person in the club who wasn't drunk at that point. So that was a bummer. Mr. Old Reliable and Responsible over here, just having a grand old time.
What is Omega Mart?
Omega Mart is an art installation that is also like a mild puzzle. I think that you would really enjoy it. I'm saying this as someone who has not gone, but like I can tell you that you would enjoy it.
I like escape rooms.
There is
So
mild.
if it's a bit of a puzzle, then
There's
I would
mild
probably
escape room
play it.
overtures, is my understanding, but you also could do none of that and just appreciate
Sure.
the contemporary art.
Yeah. Well, my extravagant purchase recently was that I dropped LA Fitness as my gym because they charged me because they're opened back up recently. I was like, son of a bitch, they charged me.
We could have gone to LA Fitness together.
Gotta get rid of that. I got rid of that membership and I joined the very expensive gym chain nearby.
Are you
Not
an
because I
Equinox, you
care.
bougie fuck?
I am now. Yes, I'm going to Equinox. That's because
I didn't want to say that I rented a Tesla and spent $200 in a week and have a fancy car, and you're gonna confide in me right now and in front of all these people who are listening that you're like people are Googling Equinox. I am giving people the opportunity. I'm bogarting the conversations. They can Google Equinox right now.
Yeah, go ahead and do it. All the fancy things that you see, my Equinox, which I only signed up for just mine to keep the cost as minimal as possible, does not have any of those nice things that you're going to see. But it is a nice gym, and it is a clean gym, and it does not have a whole lot of people. It is price gated, and that is literally the only reason that I joined. I would never, like, I normally don't give a shit, but like, I know people aren't going to wear masks. I came back to California. It was like a whole new fucking world. Nobody was wearing masks anymore. All these stores had signs that were saying like, you know, if you are vaccinated, you do not have to wear a mask. And I went to that. I went to Equinox and I actually asked them. So I was like, is this whole like you don't have to wear a mask if you're vaccinated? Is that all based off of the honor system?
And what they were like,
because I've been gone. I've been out of the States for like 2.5 months. So like, fill me in on what's going on here. And they're like, yeah, totally an honor system. I was like, oh, yeah. That's this is why I'm joining this gym because like, fuck it. If I'm gonna go to a gym where nobody wears a mask, it might as well be one where it's very price gated and very few people go as a result, and therefore I have my personal space.
that feels like some fun loopy logic to justify that. I actually really like that. I think that is a great justification.
I think so too. I like basically I dredged up in my head and I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to be paying for a year. But two things, right? One, if I pay that amount to not get sick, obviously it's very worth it, right? And two, I pay that amount probably means I'm going to use it more, right? Like when I know that's coming out of my wallet, I'm like, okay, I should really be using this. Whereas like LA Fitness, it's like, well, there goes $15. You know, but just the thought of going to that gym because I know how dirty it is, which normally I don't mind. Pre-pandemic, I wear my big sweatshirt, you know, and I put my sweatshirt on everything that I touch, you know, and I hardly touch anything. I never touch my face. I hand sanitize after I'm done. Boom. But like with a pandemic and stuff, not worth the risk to me. Not worth the risk.
I was using the hotel gym, which was the first gym I've been to also since, you know, everything since the world changed. And I was so happy to finally be back on a stair stepping machine. I did a solid 45 minutes of high intensity stair
45
stepping.
45 minutes stair stepping? That's a lot.
Yeah, thank you. I feel good about you saying that. So the thing that I wasn't thinking about was just the literal miles I was going to have to walk in stairs for the rest of the day / rest of the trip, because I basically went on vacation and then immediately worked my quads out harder than they've been worked out in
why would you do legs of all things,
8 months.
No.
It was stupid. It was a bad idea. And then, dude, Austin, you know what my favorite pieces of equipment at the gym is? I have a couple. Let me list them out for you. I love a good rowing machine. Big fan of a rowing machine. Oh, I love a good rowing machine. Stair stepper. I think it's a fun cardio workout that I can get really into. They're almost never taken, and it's great. And like you never have one of those in your home. Like a real good stair stepper, that's like a gym thing, right? Like awesome,
Sure.
cool, great cardio. Fly machines,
Okay. Yeah.
big,
I like those.
just fun. I just get that motion, super fun. But paramount, one of my favorite things, probably my favorite machine, a good seated leg press.
Mm.
Oh, I love a good seated leg press. And that's because I'm convinced that my left knee is a little bit fucked up. And I'm also know that my squatting form isn't good. And I really get worried every time that I actually do squats. And I think that I'm going to hurt myself.
Okay.
So I don't do traditional squats for like, lower body ish. And I prefer to use machines because they're just a little bit easier unless things go catastrophically wrong. Big seated leg press stand here. So after I got off that stair stepper, I was like, oh man, I gotta bust out. I gotta see where I'm at with my seated leg press. It's been a minute, baby. And then I'm like, yeah, let's bring this weight stack down to like, I don't know, like 310, 340. And I'm doing reps. And then halfway through the second set, I just have the realization, like a ton of fucking dumbbells falling onto my thick ass skull. Joey, this is a bad idea. This is a horrible idea. You're gonna go take a shower, sit by the pool, have to go walk later with your friends down the strip, and your legs are gonna fucking hurt the entire time. And you know what? They did. It really sucked. It really, really sucked. Also,
Well, at the same time, if you didn't do all that walking, they would have hurt even more.
it's true.
All that movement, keeps you from being sore as much.
So I have a social tick. I probably have many. If we're together enough in person, you might one day notice this and remember that I said this. And you'll like bust it out in the random this time. That's not interesting for the audience, but I guess just for you. When I am with people, I refuse to take the escalator. And I will always take the stairs.
Okay, like how far are we talking about?
I mean, I'm not gonna like take it. I'm not gonna take stairs over like an elevator if I have to go like up 7 floors. But
Yeah.
if it is something where the option exists of escalator next to stairs, even if we're talking like multiple story climb here, I'm always taking the stairs. And it's very vain. It feels very performative. It feels like me like affirming to myself, being like, I'm not a lazy piece of shit. I'm gonna take the stairs. I always take the stairs when other people are around. And because of this, like, rule, I guess, that I've set for myself, Vegas, if you've ever been, a lot of stairs. There's stairs all over the place. I was dying, and every staircase I came to, the escalator wasn't an option because I'm the guy who takes the stairs. And I was not giving up, and I was not quitting. So I tortured myself even more because of some stupid rule that no one thinks about except for myself.
The one place that people so rarely ever take the stairs, even though they're right next to each other, and it's actually faster to take the stairs very often, is right after you get off a flight and you go through the initial part of the airport. There is almost always you're going to be going up or down.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And there will be escalators and stairs right next to each other. And because it's people are all crowding off the plane and stuff, the escalator is very, very full and it slows everything down. But so few people actually take the stairs. Yeah, because, they just got off a flight. Maybe it's been like 14 hours that they've been in the air or something like that. They're tired. I always take the stairs. I'm like, this is my way to get in front of all you guys. Hell yeah. Plus, I mean, you've been sitting down that long. It's probably not a bad idea to get some blood circulation going.
I love
Gotta prevent them blood clots.
So, I'm also a ticking time bomb I mean, I guess in general we all are like that as human existence, right? But I
Getting deep today.
I am one day going to hurt myself.
Yes.
Because when I take the stairs and I'm going down the stairs, I basically run down them.
Why? Oh, Joey, why? I know what you do. You do the fast step. Like, why?
Yeah, I basically speed step downstairs. I think, you know how people are like, yeah, well, sex is good, but
that's with you and going downstairs.
Yes, the serotonin that triggers in my brain when I run downstairs and like get to the bottom of the staircase as fast as possible. I'm good, Cap. I'm good. I am good at it. If you know what, if you were to ask me to challenge you in something that I could 1,000% beat you at. Like if you told me to pick one competition and if you lost, it's death.
Mm-hmm.
And I would think about it. I'm like, well, what do I know?
This is your devil song. This is the one competition you're going to beat the devil at to save your soul.
Yes. If I'm like, I need to know one thing that without a shadow of a doubt I can beat Austin at. Like my brain would first go to like, well, I don't know, like how good was like Austin like at math? Like maybe I should just be like, oh well, maybe I can do like, you know, third semester calculus. Maybe he just doesn't know that, right? But then I would go like, nah, maybe he does. Maybe he does, and like maybe I would just like, you know, fucking lose to the devil because of something I didn't think about. I know that people can't run downstairs faster than me. I'm very good at it.
This in action. I'm gonna remember. We're gonna be hanging out sometime, and I'm gonna see stairs, and I'm gonna remember this moment. I'm gonna be like, Joey, it's time. It's time for that competition. I need to see your stair stepping.
I'll blow you out of the water. I promise you, you will be impressed. I'll video it and then I'll share it with everybody. One day, TBD.
What if I just jump down the entire stair thing?
That wouldn't count. You got to run on the stairs.
That's cheating.
Also,
you have to touch every stair.
A long enough staircase, you can't do that.
Sure.
But
you have to touch every stair step.
Yes.
You can't take like 2 at a time or something. Okay.
Yeah, that's also hard to do. Running downstairs and skipping stairs is hard.
Going down, yes,
super hard. Running up, yeah, totally skip stairs. That's all to say. I don't have any good Vegas stories.
Fair.
You should set Vegas expectations lower across the board. Just have a good time. Vegas, for me, all about being able to gamble a little bit. I like playing craps. Being able to drink in public, if that's your thing. Not that my kink is to drink in public, but like it's just convenient to hang out and do it. If you like dancing, generally good. If you like food, it's one of the best food cities in America. I'll just toss that out there. I'll stand Vegas, but like I do not have good stories for you, and I'm sorry. I have other stories.
That's okay.
They're for another day. This is going. I didn't think I was going to make it.
Sticky note. No.
I do. It's right here. So I have 2 sticky notes with me. I have this sticky note, which is the stories that I could talk about on the podcast that happened somewhat recently. Sticky note. Mm-hmm. I have this sticky note, which is all of my complaints about League of Legends relative to Dota on it.
Okay.
It says lobby dodging and surrender is cancer. Among other things. Okay. And then I have this post-it note. We're just doing show and tell now, which says 7:30 Dota, which is about roughly the time that we started talking about something Dota related. And I am going to try and make an effort to roughly tag that time in the YouTube comments moving forward, because people go all the time, Where's the timestamps? I don't want to listen to you talk about Equinox. I want to know. I want to know about Toronto, Tokyo, and what Cap thinks about the European East qualifiers. That's how you fucking sound, okay? Every time you write that comment, that's how I hear how you sound. I'm making it hopefully at least one person mad right now. So, in a good faith effort to try and help point people to just the content they want, I'm trying but not promising to leave a note about when we start talking about Dota in YouTube. And I feel like that's a good compromise.
It doesn't last very long. You're saying 7 minutes and 30 seconds we started talking about Dota? Well, it definitely did not last. We didn't talk about Dota for very long.
So I didn't write an endpoint.
Congratulations to Team Spirit. Congratulations to SG Esports. 2 of my predictions. 1 right, 1... I'm going to say I was kind of close. Because when I put out there's a YouTube video about this. I specifically say, where is SG? Like, SG, what did they rate last season? Oh, they got 6th. 6th? Well, if SG sucks, then I guess I'm going to go no ping. I would have got SG if they didn't just place fucking 6th at the second season. But, you know, guess I shouldn't have taken those rankings.
High volatility region.
High volatility. Also, in general, it seems like teams are definitely stepping up for the actual thing. Did get Team Spirit right, though. That is the team that I predicted. So, hell yeah. 1 right. And we're about to start North America as well as Southeast Asia. I am going to be covering North America. I'm going to be doing the Singapore major bit. The very idea of doing the first round of qualifiers, I was so tired that I was just like, I can't fucking do it. I can't do it. You can't make me. But I think I am going to do NA. So if you're listening, look out for that, which I believe starts not tomorrow, but the next day. And that'll be starting nice and early, 9 a.m. PST, because apparently they changed the times. Apparently, most of the teams are on the East Coast, so therefore they decided to start it even earlier. So 9 a.m. PST is when NA qualifiers
There's someone on the West Coast who is livid right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we obviously had that conversation about... side note. Speaking of Dendi, real quickly. Just, you know how AUI joined Arkosh?
Yeah.
He, that was basically Slacks. I mean, to be fair, Jenkins and AUI having a good time with Jenkins, and I think he had a good time with me and BSJ as well. Like, because he enjoyed those people, that absolutely has no relation to Arkosh whatsoever. But because he enjoyed his time with those people, he was willing to join Arkosh. Again, no relation, but just a weird little side note. But also, it was mostly like the reason the conversation started in the first place was Slacks basically just gaslit him. He just kept on hammering about joining Arkosh. You know, if you want to play Dota and you want to play casually, and he just kept doing it over and over and over again until Curtis actually started considering the idea. And that's how a TI winner joined Arkosh. And while he was there, we did have a very limited time where Dendi was in our talent room on the final day. And Slacks did get... He definitely planted the seed in Dendi's mind. He's like, if you ever stop wanting to like actually compete and just want to be able to have some fun. Slacks is relentless. And he's so good at it too. He's so convincing.
He's like, well, it can be theatrical. You love theater, right, Dendi?
Oh, man. Can you imagine? I mean, you already got AUI TI winner. Who else can you draw with that kind of gravitas?
Is Arkosh gonna? How deep does Arkosh get?
I mean, that is not the intention of the squad. This is just a very unique situation where it was because AUI is being talent. And he wants to be able to do content and stuff. That was it just all kind of like meshed really nicely. The idea of him joining Arkosh was just too perfect, I guess, in the moment. So
That sounds pretty good.
yeah. So good luck to the boys. They're going to be playing on the 30th with AUI, and they play against 4 Zoomers in the upper bracket first round. Which I know what you're thinking, audience. You're thinking, 4 Zoomers, they're going to smash the ever-living shit out of Arkosh. And I'll just tell you, right now, scrims don't mean anything. But Arkosh does have a pretty good scrim rate against 4 Zoomers. I don't know why. And I don't think it means anything. But it is funny.
Sounds like mental warfare to me. That sounds like straight mental warfare.
Yeah.
I would be more inclined to watch the NA qualifiers pending Arkosh's results.
Yeah, well, I guess you'll just have to tune in on the 30th. Their game will be later in the day. So you could check that out. Southeast Asia is also going to be a banger, but unfortunately it's a terrible time for me. So I'm only going to be able to catch whatever matches are still going on when I wake up. But Southeast Asia is a banger. If it's a good time for you, definitely tune into that because there are so many good teams left in there. TNC, OB Esports, Neon, Fnatic, Motivate Trust Gaming is probably the team that people really hold up. SMG is like some weird dark horse just because they have a lot of good names on that roster. Boom could always cause some upsets. So I feel like there's a solid like 6 or 7 teams who all have at least some percentage chance of being able to make it through this qualifier. And I would say no team has probably more than like a 40% chance. Whereas compared to like Undying, I talked to MSS. He came over recently. We had a barbecue. And I think I asked him and he said Undying, he said it was less than people expected, but he would still give Undying probably a 60% chance. And I think for my money anyway, I think TNC probably has like maybe even less than 40%, maybe more like 35%. I do think they're the favorites, but it's a low percentage considering how much competition is there.
SMG, my boy KP is going to get back to TI.
Okay. Well, we shall see. When we reconvene this podcast, we will know the results of that.
I promise I'm going to take a nap next time.
That's okay.
Also, it'll be the 4th of July, and we should probably figure out when to record. That's a problem for us, not for anybody else.
True.
But until then, just leave with the knowledge that Cap and I have to have a logistical conversation immediately after I'm done recording this.